beginning, humanity has yearned to understand itself and its relationship with its Creator. In the days of Moses, the Creator was known as the God of our forefathers, or the God of Abraham, but there was no real name for the divine creative presence. Then one day, Moses, who was just a poor shepherd, came upon a burning bush, and yet the fire did not consume the bush. A voice spoke to him, saying that he must go unto the Pharaoh Ramses and demand the release of the Israelite slaves. When Moses asked who he should say sent him, God said, "I am that I am." For the first time in history, God had a name. Armed with the power of God's name, I am that I am, Moses produced some of the greatest miracles of the Bible. Religious authorities, recognizing the name's awesome power, declared that uttering it was the highest blasphemy. And so its strength was unrealized, misinterpreted, and misunderstood. Moses never reached the Promised Land, nor did the code that could unlock the awesome power of God's name and set all of humanity free.
A code that could set humanity free. It may seem impossible, but Moses learned something from God that day that changed the world. In fact, we still talk about the miracles he produced. When God gave Moses the name, I am that I am, there was a simple code that went with it that unlocked the true power and meaning of the words. But then the name of God was banned, and uttering it was sometimes even punishable with death. And so the code was lost. A code is a system of letters, numbers, or symbols that communicates information when converted into normal language. If the Moses Code could unlock the power of God's name today, is it possible that we would have the power to create miracles just like Moses did 3,500 years ago? For the first time, world-renowned scholars, psychologists, and philosophers will reveal the Moses Code and how you can harness its energy to change your life. Today we have the power to destroy the world many times over, but the Moses Code unleashes a new kind of power, one that creates worlds and helps us fulfill our individual and collective destiny. Incredibly, the Moses Code is far simpler than you may have imagined. Most of us were taught that the name given to Moses was, I am that I am. That doesn't make sense without the code. In reality, the name was much simpler. The Moses Code is a common symbol, something that we see and experience every day. The Moses Code is a comma.
The Moses Code is a comma?
A comma.
I don't think so.
I am that I am with a comma.
We're not saying that the Moses Code is a comma. We're saying the Moses Code needs a comma.
I am that.
Comma.
I am.
The very name of God, I am that I am, has intrigued me for many, many years. When I was a child, I was told this by the adults around me. I am that I am, saith the Lord. And I thought, what in the world does that mean? I am that I am. Then one day a spiritual teacher said to me, I want you to change your life in 24 hours. I want you to walk down the street for 60 minutes today, and I want you to look at everything you see, and I want you to identify personally with that. Whatever it is, the grass, the flowers, other people, the wino, the rich person driving by, the chauffeur-driven Cadillac, whatever it is, just look at it and say, I am that. So I did that. I walked down the street. I was with a friend, and I was saying in my mind, I am that, I am that, I am that. Whatever I looked at, if I saw violence on a TV screen, I am that. If I saw something beautiful happening in the park between a mother and a daughter, I am that. I was just saying that to myself and allowing myself to identify with all that is. And the friend that I was with looked at me and said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Oh, I'm just saying I am that." She said to me, "No, you're not that. You're not that. You're you." I said, "No, I am that. You don't understand. I really am that." She said, No, you're you. You're really mixed up in your head." I said, "Listen to me. I am that. I am." And then I said, "Oh my God, did you hear what I just said? I just said, I am that. I am." The great name of God, I am that I am, has been misunderstood from the beginning of time. It's simply God's simple way, God's very human way of saying an enormous truth. I am that. I am.
This is the presence of God saying, I am that. Everywhere you see me. People used to say God is in everything. Really, everything is in God.
God isn't just saying that I created that.
God is this field, this presence that is everywhere in its fullness.
God is saying, I am that.
I am that.
I am that person.
I am that.
I am that experience.
I am that.
I am every that there is.
Many of us are still stuck at kind of a fifth grade idea of God. And so we have, I am that I am is this man in the sky with a white flowing beard and these big long flowing robes.
God made us in its image, and we've been trying to return the favor ever since, meaning that we've made God in a man's image.
And this I am that I am is out there, ready to decide capriciously whether to bless us or punish us for certain things.
Now, of course, God can't be jealous because God's the only game in town. God is infinite, omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, so there's nothing for God to be jealous of. So that was a primitive mindset, projecting human emotions onto forces they didn't understand.
And we project that presence outward instead of having a relationship with that presence inwardly.
If God actually is each one of us, then that would mean that each one of us is an embodiment of God. If that's true, then what would the possibilities be? What could we create?
So we're walking to the wall now, where we're going to join thousands of other people encircling the entire old city of Jerusalem.
But before we go there, we're going to explore 3 keys for unlocking the experience of being an embodiment of God, actually feeling in our bodies. And we're going to use 3 letters to do that, G-O-D, to help make it easier for us to remember. When these keys are applied to our lives, then we'll be able to turn that simple comma into one of the most transformative tools in history. The first key for experiencing ourselves as an embodiment of God is giving. We've all heard that it's better to give than to receive, but is that really true? And how can we give if we don't have enough ourselves? Mystics and saints like St. Francis said that it is in giving that we receive. Is that just a nice spiritual slogan? Well, it really only comes down to one idea that's pretty far out.
That which we give to others, that which we give to the world, we give to ourselves. So whatever one wants to experience in one's own life, one chooses to give away. Now, of course, the thought is, how can I give it away if I don't have it? Because the reason I'm trying to draw it to me is because I don't have it. But the very giving it to another is what causes you to realize you've had it all along.
There's a part of your brain called the limbic brain that is not time-oriented and it's not object-oriented, meaning it can't tell the difference between itself and others, and it has no sense of past, present, future. That timeless and objectless place in my brain receives what I'm giving because it doesn't know whether it's going out or whether it's coming in.
Whatever it is that we are creating for someone else, our bodies experience it first. So when we offer the prayers or the thoughts, feelings, and emotions of peace for our loved ones, halfway around the world or between nations, we are experiencing that peace and that healing as well. And in this way, once again, we see the example that giving truly is receiving.
So, if you criticize other people, your brain doesn't know you're criticizing them. It receives it as if it was self-directed. If you care for and give to another person, that part of the brain doesn't know which way it's going, so it always receives. The brain always receives as a gift to itself what is given to another person.